everybody.
Hi.
Welcome back. We're at day 2 of Adobe Live. We're in XD today, designing with Mick Champayne.
Hello. Hi again.
And this is
It's
day
me.
2
Yeah.
of Design Systems. So yeah, we're gonna kind of go over what we went over yesterday, and Mick's just gonna jump right in. But before we begin, everybody in the chat, where are you tuning in from?
Yeah, tell us.
We are in San Francisco today, as always. Mick, where are you coming in from?
I am from Chicago.
Chicago,
Yep.
Beautiful city.
Yeah.
With a bean,
A silver one.
silver bean.
Reflective one. Yeah.
And make sure you guys stay tuned. In 30 minutes into the live stream, we're going to be doing a chat and win. So it's where we chat and win prizes from Sticker Mule. And there'll be something for everyone who sticks around. And but yeah. Let's, I think for anyone who's joining us today, we're going to come from Brazil.
Hi, Nick Mueller.
Oh, there's from Minneapolis, and there's people Mick knows.
Yeah.
But yeah, before we jump into today's work, in case you guys are joining just today, Mick's just going to reintroduce herself, kind of give us a background on her career path and what she's all about.
Yeah. Cool. So, hello. That's me. Hi, Ez. This is me in a nutshell. My butt is a little bit less clenched today, so
I'm more relaxed today.
Yeah, I'm more relaxed. I had a lot of coffee, so we're gonna have a lot of fun. So I just want to give you a high level. I love internet culture. I love GIFs and memes. I always have Giphy on lock on my phone to like send messages that way. That's how I communicate. I love pop culture. This is an image my friend made of me of Captain Ron. So my brain is just like a useless garbage dump of like weird trivia and facts. So if you ever need somebody for trivia, let me know. And then just, I love to use both sides of my brain. Like I find myself straddling my left and my right side, which is my left side's super logic oriented. I love to be organized and create systems. And then I also love, I also love to be creative and get super weird with some illustration work and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's kind of me in a nutshell.
And you guys, just on that note, if you go to Mick's Instagram, I was like, how do I point to that
this
side?
way.
Yeah. Mick's Instagram, she's got some awesome illustrations. You know, we're going to be diving into web design today, and that's most of what Mick does for, like, her day job,
payday.
But she is also a talented illustrator, so make sure you check out her work on her Instagram, too.
Yeah. Thanks. Cool. So just to give you a little bit of background about myself, I went to school for interactive arts and media, kind of came out of this whole like late 90s, early millennium, loving making GeoCities and things like that. Like
scrolling banners.
Yeah.
Animated
MySpace
snowflakes.
too. We didn't even talk about that yesterday.
Dude, that was like at the end. To me, that was like kind of at the end. I was like,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was, I just love the like custom CSS and stuff like that. And I was like, I'm going to make this cool. So that's kind of where my love came from, the internet, or for the internet. I started my career as an art director, so I was working on a lot of digital campaign work, making banner ads, some web build stuff, and then also working on like agency of record things, so we would be handling print and TV as well, so as well as branding and identity, so kind of looking at everything as a whole. So I think that kind of gave me an appreciation of like just thinking holistically, and has helped me in my career kind of now, just because I want to, like, I see the whole ecosystem of how everything is working together, and a good user experience is super seamless and it feels the same no matter where you're picking it up at. And then lastly, I switched to an experience designer. So I really wanted to get back to more of my digital roots. So I am currently a lead experience designer at an agency called Digitas in Chicago. And the type of work that I've been doing lately is more about like future vision. So trying to work with companies to imagine what their digital products could look like next year, but also maybe like 5 years down the road and stuff like that. So a lot of NDA, can't talk about it stuff. But yeah, so it's been really, it's fun. And I like thinking about the future. It's a special interest of mine too. I know that sounds lofty, but
no.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, and then just a little high level, my design process always starts super messy, so don't feel alone because I am there with you. So it's a lot about like researching if it's a user problem, if it's the just the audience who I'm talking to, just trying to learn as much as I can about everything, which is, I think, just a good MO for life. You should always just get full context of everything if you can. So that's using more of my left side of the brain. And then you kind of move into synthesis, which is, starting to refine all of that data that you just probably inputted into and downloaded to your brain. So trying to make some structure out of it and some sense of it. Potentially starting to concept here, which I think is really fun because then you can start bringing in the branding things too. And then lastly is design. So design is, wireframing, starting to like firm things out and getting into detailed design, and then a little bit of prototyping, and then constantly just iterating and testing and socializing, sharing your work with other people, getting their eyeballs on it, user testing, all of that great stuff. Super fun. Which actually is a good segue, because in detailed design, if you really want to help your future self out, and again, being that whole future thing, it's a great place to build a design system and start setting up a foundation for yourself, to really make your job easier down the line. It's a little bit of upfront work, but I think it pays off.
Definitely pays off.
Yeah. So today we are creating a design system. This is part 2. So yesterday we built the foundations, which I'll go over, but today we are just going to be finishing that up. So you might be wondering, I just noticed my water bottle. You might be wondering, what's a design system?
What is it? Sorry, I was supposed to ask you that.
No, it's all right. It is, how I think of it is kind of a toolkit. So it's, something that goes beyond just a style guide to really include much more like the components that you're using, documenting how you use those components and how you use that style guide, and just really defining the overall process. So, getting alignment with your team about what you're going to be, making, how you're going to be delivering things, what is handoff, governance, who's owning what, and like when afterwards, if you want to keep it up. And essentially this thing should be like a living document. It shouldn't just like, you finished it, it's a deliverable, and you just put it on the shelf and it's just collects dust. You really should be keep iterating on it, and keep refining it and like making sure it works beyond just the launch date. It ensures consistency, so whoever is picking this thing up, they should have enough of a understanding and a guide to be able to go and make their own thing. So if Joe Schmo in marketing needs to make a marketing landing page, he has the right toolkit.
No excuse.
Yeah, no excuse. No excuse. Plus with design thinking, everyone's a designer, right? So so no matter who's designing, or developing, they should have an understanding of what's going on.
And I think something we talked about yesterday a lot was like you showed some examples which you might do again.
Yeah, we can show those again.
But there's no one right way to have a design system.
It's like a Reese's cup. There's no wrong way to eat it.
There's no wrong way. And it's really up to, what works for you and your team and your collaborators. And at the end of the day, it's a tool, so you want to make sure it's useful. Like, yes, it's awesome to have like this cool document, but that document in itself is not the goal. It's really to help
you make more things.
Yes.
So
it should be useful.
Right. Yeah. So that's a great point to talk about, is like it's super scalable and you can kind of a la carte pick what you need from other design systems too as inspiration to make your thing totally unique.
Yep.
So I consider it equal parts style guide, component library, and documentation. So a style guide is really where you see your foundations here, so color, typography, grids, any kind of icon sets you might have. If you've got photography or illustration, I think a great point is also to bring in like tone of voice, and just kind of your brand personality. And you kind of use those to make building blocks to make your components. And that's things like buttons, navigation, modules, like cards, ad units if you're working in more of like an e-commerce site like mine, or, a newspaper or something like that. And then documentation is really just like documenting all of that stuff that you've worked towards and like the rules you're setting up and making sure that you're writing that all down so that you don't forget it later, and when you try to go write all your final documentation, you have kind of a guide now. It's the principles you're working with, and in some design systems, depending on how big your team might be, It might include things like code snippets, so CSS and HTML that somebody can just go and grab, especially if it's living online and anyone can access it. But yeah, that's not a table stakes. You don't have to have that to have a design system.
Again, yeah, kind of coming back to what works for you and your team, and it could be really small, it could be ginormous.
Yeah. So here are those examples. You've got, your industry people like Google with material design, which I think revolutionized design a couple years back. Everybody was going towards material design.
Everyone loves it. I think a little too much. But
yeah,
that's just me.
It's a little too flat. I need a little color in my life. Yeah. And then you had, I think really good examples are Atlassian. Salesforce is a really good one. Our favorite, we found out yesterday, MailChimp. What's up?
Yeah. You guys should all check out MailChimp's. Do they call it what do they call it? Do they call it a style guide or do they call it a design system?
I would think they call it a design system, but whenever I type in the HTML or the URL, it always just sends me to patterns.
Oh yeah. Maybe they call it patterns.
Yeah, and there's one of Trello's is called Nacho. I think too. Hey, we should look at that one. We'll look at that one. But yeah, just the way it's really good to look at all the different ways that you can explore and see what you want to make and maybe pick and choose from. So our approach that we work with is, and these don't have to be like step 1, step 2, step 3, very rigid. They can be very, I think step 1 and step 2, you're constantly going back and forth between. So step 1 is, kind of setting yourself up for success. And it's all about being organized, which people found out yesterday. I am very organized and maybe a little OCD.
No, she's the that's the goal.
Yeah. And then designing with a system in mind. So even if you're in like concepting phase, like starting to think through patterns that you can be reusing, type styles, etc., instead of like having just like, I feel like this today, and then having later to go through and audit all of the styles that you have. So that can be a little daunting too. So
guilty of that right
now. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to not do it sometimes. Step 2 is to collaborate. You really want to start socializing your document or your system with people so that they can start getting eyeballs. Feedback is always the name of the game. You want to make sure that you are getting good inputs from other people because they'll be the ones using it. So, and essentially you're making a product for your own team. So you want to make sure that you are doing a little bit of user research, I guess, to learn exactly what they need to and make sure that they have a good user experience with this. And then step 3 is sorry, I'm not gonna sing the rest of it. It's the final documentation. So here is where you should really be collaborating with your front-end developers to make sure everything's aligned, or your project managers to make sure that their governance is all good and all those good things, to just make sure everybody's got this blessing, this final sign-off kind of thing, and saying like, yes, this is good to go. But for the purpose of yesterday and today, we are only going to be focusing on these two, especially because I'm going to actually talk a little bit about coding today.
Yeah.
So
we might show you guys a little bit at the end.
Yeah, totally. And then just to let you know what I worked on yesterday, I took a logo that I did for a company, a small ceramics company, and I have developed it into a design system. And so I'm pretending we're living in a fantasy world with a dream client, that I built a little web e-commerce experience for her to kind of build a foundation for her to take over the ceramics world. My bad joke from yesterday, because hey, if Amazon can start by selling books,
that's true.
Why couldn't she do it by selling ceramics?
That's true.
I mean, the world is her oyster. So here is kind of the client sketch that I got. I just got an email with this in my face, and I was like, wow. All right, cool. Like,
inspirational.
Yeah, I know. I was like,
Inspirational.
first of all, I applaud you for taking the time to sketch what is in your brain, because I think a lot of clients get a little nervous about that. But she outlined where she was coming from, what she's trying to do. She liked my vibe, and I was like,
so much.
yeah, it's so good. I actually regret not getting more sparkles into mine. Maybe we can blingy my logo if we have time. Yeah. And then this is TLDR. Too long didn't read. This is the logo I came up with, and I told her, I was like, I'm just gonna be honest, like I was getting some like booty vibes from this, and she was like, yes. So I was like, well, we're gonna take this to another level. Like, okay. I even accidentally drew those little cowboy boots, and she was like, no way. Like I used to have a pair of red cowboy boots that I was known for, and I was just like, we are like same wavelength here. So
the universe brings you together.
I know. I love when that happens. So that is the logo that I did, and then I built an entire identity around it. So helping her with her branding, and I think that's a good point to talk about is branding is like, and that's where my like holistic point of view comes into play, where I really like to think through about the whole experience. So even trying to think through like the typography, the color palette, the photography, things that she can use, and a toolkit for her to kind of make her brand ownable, and always a ladder back too, so it doesn't get too crazy.
And I think logos don't exist in isolation, so I think part of our jobs as designers when creating logos is really creating the whole like story that that logo exists. So, what's the logo's name?
Her name is Prune.
The logo has a name.
I know, because I was just like, she's a mascot, and I was trying to think of other mascots that are really good. But yeah. Oh, like Gritty from the NHL. Oh my God, I'm obsessed with him. Like, he's so good. You should check out his Instagram. But so I gave Prune a name, and I drew a bunch of different versions of her, so got a good little icon set going on for her. And then the typography, just to touch quickly on that, it can be a little divisive. I used a display font that I think really captures her personality of this brand, so you want to use that sparingly though, and that's going to be more just like for graphic treatment, so you'll see that throughout today. And then I guess we can just talk about what we ended up making yesterday.
Yeah, and I think before we dive in, I just want to give a quick plug. Like the last half hour of our time together, we're going to be reviewing daily creative challenges. So if you guys have been working on daily creative challenges, or if not, you still have plenty of time to go ahead and start something and share it with us.
Yeah, like an hour, right?
Yeah. You can check it out in the little...
You can do this. You can do it.
Do it.
Yeah.
You can go to the little challenge tab and the live chat, and if you want to post them on Discord, we'll be going through projects on Discord together in about an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So submit your projects.
Anything
we'll take
could happen in an hour.
Yeah, just show us what you got. We did a lot in an hour yesterday.
That's true.
So
it was kind of lightning speed.
Yeah. Zipping through.
Yeah. I also think that like it's fun to time box yourself to things for an hour. Then you don't feel so precious about things. So I can't wait to see what happens. I want to see cool
Submit
stuff.
your projects on Discord, and we'll see you there.
Yeah. So yesterday, we pretended that we did a quick concepting round with the client, and that she approved everything as is. I didn't have to change a thing.
Dream client.
Remember that, dream client. So I pretended that I gave her an intro page. Actually, let me see if I can pull
you
this
had
up.
prototyped it, right?
Yeah, I think let's hope it still works. So just this big boom in your face, clay that slays, letting you know who Prune is, what she's here to do. She's here to slay.
Yep.
And so if you were to scroll, then this page would bump down, and then this is just a giant big carousel that can feature her different collections or anything that she wants to promote at any given time. And then, just your standard web stuff, like your logo up in the top corner, your menu, and your button. And then as you move down the page, that's where that broke. But anyway.
What broke?
My navigation.
But
just imagine it would have been sticky. Yeah. It would have stayed. So here's a little section about her product offerings, kind of keeping that high level so that in case anybody's exploring. And then some marketing components so that she can have some good features there. And there's Prune. She's
Split Prune.
Split Prune. And then just a big call out to her events and workshops that she might be hosting or attending, just so that people can come meet Prune. And then your footer. And that's what we sold in.
And before you had gotten here, Mick had done some wireframes and just to show some background too. It didn't just show up out of the blue.
Yeah. So we had done some quick sketches here. just to kind of, I always like to start with sketches. Like I do hand drawn, but some people like to go more into high fidelity. I feel like if I do that, then I get a little too, I start pixel pushing, and that is always a problem for me. So I like to keep it loose up here with sketches. And then another thing when you're designing digitally is like you should always be thinking mobile.
Yes, always.
Yeah, and usually I'm bouncing in between the two. I'm creating like the desktop and the mobile version at the same time. But just to keep this presentation tight, we're gonna just do desktop because design systems are like can be really big projects, and we only had an hour and a half. So you can only save the world in so much time. So yeah, I made some wireframes. I made a second carousel component or carousel card for her. This is the product listing page.
So these are kind of like a step up from your sketches, or that
yeah, a little bit more high fidelity. I have seen some, like especially like UX designers make beautiful wireframes, and I just want to call them out. They are getting, I think the line between the final comps and wireframes are getting blended a lot more now. So
I think it's a juggling act though, because sometimes I don't want to like nail us in too much in the wireframe stage.
Paint you in a corner.
Yeah, because sometimes then clients are like, oh, where is that thing we saw in wireframes? And you're like, well, that wasn't really
I know.
like, my intention.
Yeah. So yeah, it just really, I think it depends on your client and the level of trust. We've actually had times where we've had to like scale our wires back because they were just too detailed.
Too much,
And the client needs to be more up here and thinking content
and not like, well, I don't like the shape of this.
I don't like this button size.
Kirk asks, do you design mobile first?
Yes, I think that is to be honest, like I'm doing both.
Yes,
I'm thinking mobile first is definitely like I think a buzzword.
Yes.
But yeah, I think that you can start in either one, whatever you feel is more appropriate.
Yeah, you just have to remember it's not that size.
Yeah, especially like I've been on projects that are like have been like more internal facing, and I know that somebody's only going to be mostly accessing it from desktop. So like, yes, it's nice to have a mobile version of it, but maybe it's like a really content heavy and super dense thing that
like a business tool.
Yeah,
or something like
that they're probably going to be on their computer for. So just really depends. I hope that answers your question.
It goes down to what your project needs, and like sometimes you have clients where you look at their analytics and they're like, oh, 90% of your traffic's on mobile, and you're like, well, that would be dumb to not to think about mobile and prioritize.
Yeah, think about your audience.
Yeah.
So yeah, getting back to the wires, we just had a product listing page where the way I'm imagining this working is it's like a giant drop down because she's starting with a probably a limited amount of inventory. So this would just be a quick filter. So this would be like the other categories, so like decor or plates or bowls or mugs or something like that. And it would just shuffle and just filter these out.
Love it.
Yeah. She doesn't need a detailed filtering system for this because there's not a lot of products. But there will be. So
when she takes over the world.
Yeah, right. And what's nice about making a design system is like you're starting to create patterns and things so that you can introduce features down the line as your product grows. So that would probably be something in the backlog to consider.
Yeah.
And then moving into a product detail page, which is pretty self-explanatory. I think anybody who's ever shopped online knows how that goes. Yoinking something from Amazon, a recommended products module.
Yeah.
And then last but not least is an about page, just giving some like color to who she is and like her point of view and her vision of like her company and stuff like that. It's a great place just so that your audience might connect on a more personal level with someone. And yeah, I think that's great. So yesterday we went through and we built ourselves a little design system here. And we started with our foundations, setting up all of our colors, our typography. And last night I just went through and I cleaned up a lot of the files. So if you were here yesterday, you would have noticed I need to like name everything. So I went through and I made sure that all of this is all captured.
And what is it you just opened up just so
Oh,
people
yes,
know?
this is the assets panel. So what we did yesterday was we took all of this and we don't want it to just live on an artboard, so we put it into XD's assets panel, and here you can use any of these styles. So if I wanted to make this rectangle prune, then I can just do it there. And that way it's super easy to update things, and you don't have to go flying over across your artboard to grab a color swatch, which is, I can't imagine. I wonder how many miles I've like driven. Like traveled through my desktop.
That's a very interesting
good question.
Project. Yeah. I don't want to know the number.
I know.
It's probably really upsetting.
And I'm doing it all with my fingers too, like or my mouse. Like how far my hand has probably traveled. Anyway,
a few times around the earth
is actually one of those things that now I'm like, oh, I want to know.
Yeah. Is there a plugin for that?
How do you measure that? Okay, so we built color, typography, and icons. So all of that is locked and loaded. And then we had, the way this worked, we had kind of went through and audited our concept and went and picked styles out of that we were just going to say, like, put a stake in the ground and be like, this is this size or whatever. And this is the button style. So we pulled from our concept, and then we where'd my button go?
And the concept was something that we had been, in theory, approved by the client. So Mick would have shown several concepts and just gotten that one, been like thumbs up, and we're like, great, this is what we're going to use as kind of our North Star to create the design system. And then design all the other pages moving forward.
That's right.
Versus designing like 12 pages and being like, what do you think? And you're like, no, start over.
Right. Just bite off a little bit and then see what their appetite is for that before you waste a bunch of time and energy and potentially sanity.
Yes. Yeah. Most importantly, sanity.
I know. This is actually just a lesson in self-care.
Yes. It really is. I was telling Mick, after I saw her do this yesterday, I was like, I want to go and just restart all of my projects I'm currently working on, set up the design system to help my future self. That is Mick's theme, and it is so helpful.
It's so helpful. We're going to set you up for success later.
I
know. Cool. And so we outlined buttons, we did our navigation, and then we also did some marketing components.
Some of the like feature slots on the homepage that we can reuse in other parts of
the site. So what we're going to do now is actually make this a collaborative document. So we are going to put it into the cloud.
I was like, what is the cloud?
It's up there somewhere. Yeah. It's like that Zoolander, like it's in the computer. So we're gonna put it in the cloud. And then that's gonna be able to make it so anybody you share it with can access it, and they can pull down any of these styles. And then what's really nice too is that they can update. So like, for me, like I work with other designers, and so if they have a new component that they need to add, that they can just go ahead and do it themselves, and they don't need to be like, hey Mick, like, can you add this? Can you add this? And it's like, nope. And then what's great too is then that will push to my documents, and I will be able to use that. So it's like, awesome. What's mine is yours. It's like sharing. It's going back to kindergarten principles. Like sharing is caring.
And that's super important when you're on a team, just because, sharing files is a whole nother topic on itself.
I know.
So,
and it's like a very personal thing too. So,
for sure.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is just go File, Save As, and we're gonna actually click to Cloud Documents. And I'm gonna call this, let's just call it Design System.
And guys, in about a minute, we're gonna have Chat and Win, so stay tuned. We need to come up with a theme for this Chat and Win again. This is always the hardest part.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay.
How about your?
Is it like one of those like gumball challenges where you have a jar of gumballs and you try to guess how many are in it? So let's guess how many miles we've traveled.
Oh well, how would they know?
Oh, that's too much. We haven't figured that out.
Okay,
something easy. Well, you mentioned you really like corn dogs. Should we just ask them what their favorite food is?
Your favorite food.
Yeah.
Let us know your favorite food. We're going to start Chat and Win soon, so think about it. And then let us know in the chat.
Yeah.
And the more foods you give us.
I know.
And the magic box will choose who
I hope somebody says prunes. But that does not guarantee winning. Like, and then there's an asterisk.
So we'll be back in a second with Chat and Win. But let us know what your favorite foods are. Go wild.
I do love
chat. What's your favorite food, Mick?
Oh, donuts.
Yeah. Oh, dang.
Yeah,
That was good.
I love donuts.
I don't know what my favorite. I like corn dogs. Would I say it's my favorite food? I don't know. I don't know what my favorite food is. I think maybe it's probably sushi. I love sushi.
Sushi's
Me and
good.
Justin Garcia. Yeah. So let us know. And the magic box is picking.
Shrimp.
We don't know what
Somebody
happened.
said shrimp.
Oh, I have a shrimp on my sweater.
Oh my god, a
I
shrimp
don't know
playing
why
basketball.
I have a shrimp on my sweater.
Why not?
Hot wings, pastries.
Ooh, hot wings are
white
pretty
sauce
good.
pasta, sushi. Yeah, sushi's good. Fries are good. Really
Ooh.
good egg tart.
Oh, yeah. Sweet potato fries. We had those yesterday.
Oh God, yeah. Veggies. Oh, veggies. You're good.
Yeah, veggies.
Poutine. I haven't had poutine in a long time. Chicken that is greasy and crispy.
We have
a agile.
Akil?
Akil. Is that a Q or a G?
Yeah, I think it's a Q.
I think it's a Q.
But
Akil.
congrats!
Congratulations!
I hope you go and celebrate with your favorite food.
Yes, you win 100 free stickers from Sticker Mule. So our team will contact you through Behance, I think, and let you know how you can redeem your prize. And then everyone else who's here, who's been sticking around, make sure you check out this link. You will get a 10 stickers for $1, which is a great deal. So you can like design your own, give them to all your friends.
We need to do that.
Yes, I know, right?
Yeah.
We need to do that. We've been talking about it.
Yeah.
Our laptops are empty, but just stick them on your laptop. Let the world know who you are with your stickers.
Cool. All right, so getting back into it. So we created a duplicated, so I created my file, put it in the cloud, and now we are going to go ahead, and I don't need the homepage concepts in here anymore.
And why did you duplicate your file?
Oh, just because everything was already connected, and so and all of my assets are like locked and loaded, so I wanted to just make sure that everything stays the same, and I will just delete, so it's so much easier. Actually, I'm going to go turn these into artboards really quick too. So while I'm doing that, just to make sure, because they were just hanging out as rectangles.
Oh,
and
right,
that's
yeah.
probably not the best, so we'll just make these artboards.
Yeah, I love this about, XD too. You get the whole artboard and you just use it however you want to use it.
Yeah.
For better or for worse.
Right.
Sometimes my artboards get way too messy. But
So we'll just delete, bye-bye. And then, yes, we don't want this. We're imagining that this is our master document, so we don't want any actual like concepts or artboards or anything. So this is just going to be pure design system.
Yeah.
So and look, it's automatically saving for me. That's so nice. I need to be better about saving. I've had too many days where I have not.
You're like,
saved.
no.
Yeah. So now you can go ahead and invite people. Like if I wanted to add Hody, I could easily just send a link to her, and then she would get access to this file, and then she can go ahead and edit it, which is super nice.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. But otherwise, we are going to start building out those other pages that we had already wired out. So, and we're going to use this. So you have
this one copy up here, kind of as your design system that you're going to refer to.
Right. So we're not going to touch this guy anymore. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go and create my own, a new document. So I usually do 1440 by 900 for desktop. And that Adobe also is so great at like, then I don't have to worry about grids. Like I'm just going to use this standard grid.
Nice.
Where is it? There it is. And here it's really easy to update your grid, so you can just and grids are another thing that's like still kind of blow my mind. Like I don't know exactly how they work, so sometimes I just go off with 12. I know how they work, but setting them up can be a little bit. Know. I feel like I always have to go and Google again. Like
no, but I always ask the developers. I'm like, do you guys care what I use? And they're like, no, but as long as you use something, it's fine.
Right,
but,
like as long as it's standardized, they don't mind. But I'm using the 12 column grid for this, which is just the default one, and it's working out pretty well for me. And then, so I am going to go into my assets folder or panel, and here you're going to click link assets, and this is where you will go and pull from your cloud documents. And if you've been shared with this, then this is great. This will pull it in there too. And then I'm just going to double click it. And look, all of it repopulated.
That is amazing.
It's all in there. It's in the computer.
Yes. With a click of a button, it is in the computer.
Yeah, perfect. And then I'm gonna save this as, let's see, I'm just gonna do this one. This is SPC, Sugar Plum Clay. This is
naming is
e-commerce.
also a whole nother.
I know.
Spend a whole segment on naming.
Yeah, we'll call this e-commerce site part 2. Just because. So we've got there, and I'm gonna go back into actually my document from earlier, website concept. I didn't even need to call it part 2. I could have just called it site because it's more final. So yeah, I'm gonna go and steal these artboards and sketches out of that again, just so I have that for reference up here.
So this is when you're gonna start going into your high fidelity pages.
Yes.
So we're just setting that up right now.
Yep.
But she has a separate document to work off of.
And then these are the high fidelity wireframes, using those as a reference. Cool. Just got really quiet in here.
You're concentrating.
I'm concentrating. Sometimes I've been told by desk mates that I get computer eyes, so like just let me know.
No, you're in the zone. You're in the
You're
zone.
in the zone. And then I'm just gonna also pick up, because I'm making one of those, oh, that's a design system file. I'm just making another carousel. I'm just
nice.
gonna just
Take
yoink
the
this.
original one.
Yes.
Nice.
Boom. Actually, is that locked? I don't want it locked. I need that. Give it to me.
Yeah.
All right, cool. And so I'll put that there. All right, and so I think if this isn't already the component, yes, it is though.
Nice.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna make sure that I'm pulling from the latest one, so I'm just gonna delete that. I'm gonna put the new one in here.
And just make sure it's in the same location.
Yes, and then just delete that guy. Actually,
So in case you guys are just joining us, what we're working on is translating some wireframes to high fidelity visual designs, really using the design system that Mick has already set up, which we worked on yesterday, with colors, fonts, components, and iconography. So yeah, so she's just showing us kind of, the plug and play nature of things.
Yeah.
Just design moves very fast when you have all these things set up.
And when you're having fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which you must if you have a butt icon, butt
Yeah,
logo.
you gotta hustle that booty.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're gonna pretend that this is in the second carousel. And then fill that guy. And I'm gonna go into, how to get out of full screen? My folder structure, so.
And Mick had some images she already pulled and organized. Her file organization is amazing. So I would just even watch this whole thing on slow motion. Just take a look at her file organization, because this is A+ grade
next
people.
level here. But yeah, so I like to, even just so that I can quickly scan things, like my file structure. And this is a great thing to document in your design system too, like maybe folder structure. I've had project managers be like, this is the folder structure that we use, and I think that's probably why I do it.
No, I
like
love
this.
that.
Yeah.
That's the dream. I love it when people are organized.
And it's also like for when, if you go on vacation or something like that, somebody can easily pick up and they know what they're working on and where to find it. So that's super nice.
There's less questions you have to answer.
Yeah. While I'm on vacation and in beach mode.
Yes.
So,
Well, you are out of the office.
Yes. OOTO. So this, I had a hero. Oh, that's hero. And I'm just gonna change that image out.
And where are you pulling these photos,
Mick? These are from Adobe Stock. Because she is just starting out this company. She doesn't have a lot of assets yet. In my identity work that I did for her, I showed her some mood boards of what I think her photography should look like. So when she does go and shoot it, that she'll have a guide for that too. And then, so I'm just using kind of reference and stock imagery that kind of do the same thing for right now.
And I think this is a lot of the times this is the case where, it's great if you come on a project where they've already shot awesome assets and you're ready to rock and roll. But I feel like more than half the projects I work on, we're working with future assets in mind. So using placeholders like this that are representative of what the mood
and
the overall system.
Yeah. That's right.
Yes.
And so here I just switched the border color out. I'm kind of imagining like a nice, fun little like gradient shift.
Nice.
As I'm always trying to think interactive too, and like you're thinking through like how does this animate and like using animation to guide the viewer to different parts and things like that. So prototyping is a super fun part for me too, because I like thinking how it comes to life and it's not just static JPEGs. But we are not covering that in my design system right now.
That's a separate workshop.
I will yeah, that's a whole, yeah. So, okay, we're feeling good, and that's pretty much the second component, or the second carousel, so we're feeling good on that. I'm just
moving right along.
Yep, and so, boom, you're done. Just delete you. And then I'm going to go ahead and make sure that my border up here is at the top and it's locked.
Nice.
Yep. I love locking layers so that I don't accidentally
Yes,
grab.
oh my gosh.
Cool, so next we're doing PLP. So this one should be pretty turnkey because we outlined a bunch of card components in our design system. Like we actually went through and made them yesterday, so this should be pretty easy to pull from. So going back here.
Why do you call it the PLP? For those of us who don't do e-commerce.
It is the product listing page or product list page or, yeah. And that's just like literally your whole inventory or...
Like grid view.
Yeah.
You guys know.
Yeah. You're probably familiar with it if you've never actually like designed one.
Yeah.
Just because who hasn't... I want to know who hasn't online shopped before. Like that, I would love to meet that person.
Even my mom has. So
oh, really?
My mom has. So, and she's like the most computer illiterate person I know, which is weird because she's not even that old, but she just does not do computers.
Oh, I mean,
she can do a phone.
Does she live off
everything.
the grid?
No, she lives in Seoul. It's like.
Oh, I was just there last week.
Oh,
we should talk about that afterwards. Yeah. Okay, so I'm actually going to delete the border on this one. So for this, the pattern is just not going to have a border. It's going to have this like full fill up here.
Nice.
So I'm going to just grab that from the wires and send it to the back. And then I'm going to fill it with prune.
Nice.
That's the colors. I asked for user input yesterday on colors. So
it's a collaborative exercise.
Yeah, this is all your own fault. But yeah.
Red is the hodgepodge.
The hodgepodge. I actually really like that name.
And nobody wanted to give us a name for green, so we're at leaf.
It was like free association. What do you see when you see green? I did go ahead and make a reversed out logo, so I'll just go and send that to the back and delete that guy.
And I think, when you've done a lot of these sites and a lot of these kind of projects, you kind of know what cases to design for. So I think if you guys saw yesterday's, or if you want to look again, like Mick knew she's going to need inverted buttons. She's going to need hover button, like hover states. Like we kind of anticipate like what cases need to be designed.
Yeah, exactly. And then I'm going to go ahead and make this the display font that I really love. And
so you guys are seeing she's just pulling strictly from her like assets panel and not going into the
actual
the editor.
Right. I don't have to touch that. Like I don't even have to think. This is just like we were saying yesterday. It's just like this is the type of work where you put your headphones on and you just go listen and just get it out in the zone.
Yep.
Cool. And then we are just putting in products cards now. So this is awesome. So you
kind of have your wireframe like next to you for reference, right? That's how I like to work too. I know some people who go like directly into the wires, but I
like to recreate just to make sure that like it's like this is the final one that I was using.
Yeah.
And
you then make sure all the styles are like the new styles versus like I don't know.
Yeah, like I don't know. You never know. Like you can get little carry errors and stuff. So this is one of my favorite features in XD. Is this repeat grid?
This is all of our favorite features.
Yeah. It's so good. Look at this magic.
Can you show that again, just in case anybody missed
Instant replay. Boop, 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 boop. And then you can go on and update the margin. So 16.
Look how perfectly it fits on your grid.
It's so good. It's so good. Well, it's because I designed it with the grid in mind. Yeah. So like if I hadn't.
It's not accidental, folks.
Yeah. This is big leagues here. Okay. So what's great about this is if I update that. Oh no, this is because it's a component. Never mind. But if you were to have all of this unlinked and it was just like you're just building for like a concept, it's really nice that you can just, if you were to move that, it would affect all of them. Yeah, at the same time. So, okay, we can turn that off now. We're gonna pretend that this one is new. And then what's great about components too is you can delete in instances, so you don't, without it affecting the big master component. Yeah. So here I'm going to go. I have copy and some names for them, so I'm gonna go into my.
Look how prepared Mick is.
I know. And in my real world job, I probably have a copywriter that I'm working with for all of these kind of things, but I just made up these names myself, so don't judge too hard. So we're just gonna go and copy and paste, and then we should think of some prices. What is a, oh wait, let's do images first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, going into imagery, PNGs, product images. Just gonna drop these bad boys in.
Nasi Taka says she is so talented. That's true. Mick is very
Cute.
talented.
So nice. And then making sure that all of these fit. And yeah, feeling good.
So you can just drag and drop right into the cards.
Yeah, so easy. There's another way too where you can just
That's
really cool.
You want to show people that?
Yeah,
we
so
can,
like
we can
if
just then undo after.
Yeah. Let's get me out of this repeat grid. If I were to make like a box and then I turn that into a repeat grid, so it goes like that.
So let's say we were making those cards again and we had them all set up.
And then you can just go and grab these four. Oops, let me move this a little bit so you can see this magic happen. And look, it just auto-populates.
That is like,
it's so good.
Yeah, it's so good every time.
And you can do that with the type too. So
I didn't know that.
Name. Okay, so like, ooh, where'd that? Oh, because I have to extend this. Oh, my padding.
Yes,
All
nice.
Right, there we go. Hide this. So if that's the name, this is what's so nice about if you have a text file.
I didn't know about this.
Oh, okay, yeah, look at
really
this.
excited.
Check this out. Where's my copy? You've got your product names. You can just go ahead and drop this file in.
What?
Yeah. Is it?
What?
It's blowing my mind.
Oh my
Look how
God.
instant replay. Okay, so you select the component or
this is a
the
repeat
field.
grid.
Yep, this repeat grid. Just drag. You have to. Okay, so the key is here. It has to be just a TXT file.
Yeah, just
cannot
simple,
be a rich
not
text
Word doc
Yeah.
file.
And then you just whatever you want it, and then you hit return at the end of the line, and that will make
new item.
Yep.
Oh my God.
So you hit save, and then you just push it in, and look at that.
Oh my God.
It's
Derwin
so
says
good.
That's pro, and that is right. Mick Champayne, pro
I
designer.
am here to make efficiencies.
That is.
Time is money.
Yeah. Time is money is right.
It's so good. Actually, my friend Casey told me about that.
Wow, that is such a good. I did not know that.
Yeah.
I'm learning a lot, just like you guys. If you guys are learning, I am also learning.
If somebody comes away with one thing today, I will feel accomplished.
Dude, that is amazing.
So let's go back to pretending that we're pricing out mugs and bowls.
We have some pipes banging here, so it's been fun times.
If I get a little it's fine. You just gotta roll with the punches, man. Or the banging. So this is a big Buddha bowl.
Big Buddha bowl. I think it's a big booty bowl.
That needs to be updated. So yeah, that's gonna be. I just came up with these names, so don't judge me. Like.
Ayush asks, how did you decide the spacing between the elements? Is it random or is it thought beforehand?
I want to say it's whatever feels right.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends. Like if I'm working on a grid.
You're working on a grid.
Yeah, then like these bigger elements are for sure.
You want it to
purposeful.
Kind of fall on the grid.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if I am just like.
I agree. Yeah,
setting up my own kind of margins and paddings, and that's a good point to talk about, like for your developers, like letting them know how much is the pixels in between, and like that you want. It's like they don't care what it is; they just want to know what it is. They just need to know. Yeah. So, but yeah, and then it's just more like a feeling. So like I feel really weird when it doesn't have some like white space like that.
Me too. Yeah. I'm a white space person.
Like, so I just need a little breathing room.
I think it's a combination of personal preference, practice, just training your eye, and people might disagree with you, but can't ignore that feeling.
Yeah, no.
Chandra asks also, what font are you using for the pricing? So yeah, we like this font a lot.
Yeah, so this is the font that I was like, build this whole system around. Because of,
Like, really want to use
like,
this font.
look at these. I love this font. It's called Salvage Display. Let's do.
It's a really, I know, I was going to buy it last night, and then I was like, let me hold off just one more day.
Well, let me wait for payday.
Yeah. Let me wait for payday.
But yeah, the character sets are so good.
It's beautiful.
Oh my god, I could just look at all of these all day.
So yeah, Salvage. I'll put the name in the Salvage Display is the numbers font.
Yep. And then, okay, so that's the vessel, and that's, how much does a vase go for these days? A vase. I don't know. We're going to say 48.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. Okay,
Handmade
and then.
vase?
Yeah, a homemade vase. Let's see. Oh, going over here, we are doing featured product name now. Okay, so we're going to put in a featured card.
And this is all from your component library because Mick had already set these aside and knew she was going to use these.
Yeah.
So while she was working on some of the other elements yesterday, she created some of these yesterday.
Yeah. And I don't want to reflow everything for this little tutorial, so I'm not going to do that. We're just going to duplicate.
Yep.
And just get good spacing. So boom skis, and then need to update this name. I'll just call this a clean slate plate
Nice.
set of 3. I don't know who just needs 3 plates, but if you do,
I was like, that is an odd number. Well, you could have like a stack of plates. That's like small, medium.
Oh, that's true, and you just get like a couple stacks of them.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna delete this one. Yeah, and so just gonna duplicate. Looks like I've got, duplicating is making my life so much easier.
So, well, we got 2 questions. Jessica asks, Mick, how do you make the transition from Photoshop to XD? She makes all her websites in with layer comps and smart objects, and they're trying to try something new.
So one of the big projects I worked on at my agency job was translating or shifting from Photoshop to XD, and it was a game changer. It was pulling teeth for some people, like who had been mostly in Photoshop for like all of their career, but I had to make like a deck to be like, this is why this is so much more efficient for exactly this reason, like this whole thing, like everything is so much more easier. You don't have to make duplicated layers of turning layer comps on and off and stuff like that. And I love layer comps, but like in these big systems like this, it can get really unwieldy, and like things can just shift on accident, and I don't know. This is just so much more efficient, and it's also like lighter file size. Like,
yes, that's the huge
that is like
thing.
a big thing. Like especially if
Much
you don't want
smaller files.
Like I don't want to sit at work and upload an 8 gig document. Like
and just watch like the Wheel of Death
just
forever.
Pray. Yeah. So this makes it so much easier when you're designing for, I think, the web.
Yeah. And I think it's totally valid to be afraid to switch. I only switched from Photoshop maybe a year and a half ago, and I still I want to hit myself because that was the tool I was used to. I was the fastest in Photoshop.
Yeah.
But it took me maybe like a week of translating over. So I think just stick to it. Just be like, hey, for this project, I'm just going to switch to XD. And I promise you will never look back.
You will never look back.
You will never look back.
You'll also be like, how much time did I waste with my life? Like waiting for files
Yeah,
to
it is
save
just
or
like,
upload.
like that week you might spend like getting used to it.
Yeah,
You'll earn
and
it back.
This collaborative like document of putting it in the cloud is like such a game changer.
Yeah.
Like, and being able to collaborate on one file is so clutch.
Totally, just bite the bullet and just do it.
Let me just like preach to you about the powers of XD. Okay, so the cactus that needs no water.
Let's see. Also, Divad asks, how do you decide what font to use for different aspects of the project?
Oh.
They're saying the font for the pricing is a little tough to read, which we know.
That is true. We know.
We know.
But my client likes it. So
we love it. So
yeah.
But yeah, how do you, what makes you decide what font to use? Or
Oh man, I think that for me is a lot of just trial and error.
Yeah.
You want to take that question?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think it's trial and error. I think a lot of it is also personal preference. Like, I mean, fonts play a huge role in the personality. So we know that this salvage font, which is a little difficult to read, we know it has a lot of personality. So we're really saving it for like the main headline and these kind of really spot uses. Like we would never use that font for like a body paragraph because number one, it'd be impossible to read.
Yeah.
And number two, we're really using it as kind of like
an accent. Yes. It's the frosting on the cake kind of thing. Although I do like a lot of frosting, so.
Well, maybe for another project, it's really all about the frosting.
Yeah, it's all about the frosting, and I'll just have a super illegible reading site. It's fine. Okay, the last thing I did was just we had already defined a marketing component, so I just went and yoinked. Where is it? There it is. Yeah, I had just pulled that into my file.
Oh my God, you're a genius.
Thank you.
I want to make like everybody I work with watch your stream because it is so good.
Oh. Okay, and then I just dragged a footer in too that we are just gonna say is good as is.
Yep.
And then that is the product list page.
That was like maybe 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so easy.
Yeah.
So good. I'm just gonna evangelize.
But this was because there was a lot of planning beforehand. I think it's also dangerous to be like, oh, it's so quick and easy. Like, yes, we were able to do it quickly because we did all this work in advance.
Set ourselves up for success. We greeted the day with a smile, and we were like, we can do this because we have faith in our design system.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna build a PDP page now.
And what is a PDP?
That is, sorry, I keep talking in acronyms.
No, I'm there with you.
Yeah. Acronyms, man. PDP is a product detail page. So that is if you're thinking up in the funnel, like your product listing page is drilling down into your product detail page.
Yep. This is where often you have add to cart, you choose options, you can read more details about the product. Again, all of you guys who have shopped online have seen a PDP. That is just inside lingo for people who do this day in and day out.
Because in the industry, we love to shorten things and talk in business jargon.
Yeah. Designers love jargon.
I love it so much. Just kidding, I actually hate it.
By love, we mean hate.
Oh, me too. There's this really good show on, I think it's Comedy Central, Funny or Die or something like that, called Businessmen in Suits, and it's like all they do is it's so good.
They just talk in
business
business. Okay, I need to watch this.
It's long-haired businessmen, I think is what it's called. They all have ponytails. So good. Okay, it's gonna lock my border. Well, actually, I want to make this border. I'll make this border purple again, prune.
Cool. And guys, just in about half an hour, we're going to be going over the daily creative challenges and just giving you guys some feedback and reviewing them together.
Yeah, we'll be nice.
Yeah, we're very nice, and you probably know more than we do. So, but we will be going over them in about 30 minutes. So if you guys haven't submitted them already, make sure you join us on Discord. And there's like a current challenges channel, and there's more information about it in the challenges tab in your Adobe Live chat box on the right there. So check that out, submit your projects, and we will take a look at them in about half an hour.
Cool. I'm excited to see them.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
We looked at a few the other week, and they had like voice triggers. First of all, I didn't even know you could set up voice triggers.
That's the thing about XD.
Yeah, voice triggers are...
I have not played with that yet, but I want to.
It's next level stuff.
It's so good. Okay, so we are building the PDP, the product detail page. And so here we have an image carousel, the price displayed just prominently, some body copy, a swatch selector, a drop down for however many they might want to buy, because who wants to just buy one plate? That would be a little sad. A button, and then kind of an accordion so that it's got progressive disclosure. You can read more about details, deliveries and returns, reviews, etc.
Cool. And again, your knowledge of this is coming from many a times of doing these things, but also you can take a look at many other, it's pretty industry standard.
For sure.
Or make it your own too.
Right. I usually just draw inspiration from the places that I shop. So, for this, this is actually a really good opportunity to show you how to make a component and put it into the library.
Yes, that would be awesome.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and also grab this too. This is where I am just gonna take from the wires.
Right.
I don't have to reinvent the wheel here. But so for this product in carousel, I'm going to just dump some photos in it real quick. so we have something visually representative of what we're working with. So going back in my imagery, product images. So we're just gonna pretend we're doing one for this big mug, and I'm gonna put the mug image down here too. And we're gonna fake multiple views.
Love it.
Because hopefully and this is one of those things, if she didn't have the images, this is probably, the developers would need to know, like, I need to hide these two components from view, so it's much more dynamic. So I'm gonna take this little component here, and I'm going to go into my design system, and here I'm gonna make a new section that I'm gonna call modules.
And again, you can name these whatever you would like. We're just kind of using common language that makes sense to Mick and her team.
Yeah. And then just copy and paste it right in. And so if you hit, and I'm gonna call this image carousel. And then I'm gonna go into my assets folder, and I'm just gonna turn this into a component. And there it is. And then when I hit save.
So if I had the version of the file on my computer, it would have updated?
Yeah. Yep, so as soon as this is done saving, now we can go into our assets library. Am I in the right one? Am I working in the right file? Yeah. Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Oh, where'd it go? Where'd it go?
Oh, is it the... No,
No, that button was right there. Oh, no.
Stay tuned, folks.
Stay tuned.
We're troubleshooting. The Flippist says, from someone that not in this world at all, this is very interesting to see. It looks like a ton of work and organization, but feels way less intimidating after watching you.
Spoiler alert, I know the Flippist.
Oh.
Oh, he does flip books for a living. You should go check him out. Yeah, oh, there it is. It was right there.
Where was it?
Let me open recent e-commerce site. Ha! See, it keeps going away.
Yeah.
Did you see that blue button? I'm not crazy here. It did say update for a second.
I didn't see it.
I'm
not paying attention.
That's okay.
It says, you're importing your assets from some folder. I've seen you're having PSD files also. Oh, Aziz asks, do you also work in Photoshop?
There, it was right there. Oh my God, I feel nuts. Anyway, what would happen is that would become a component inside of this library. Did you see it? There it is.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's doing that.
Maybe, what if I click that again? No, I saw it this time.
Yeah,
I saw it this time.
I'm not crazy, but that would populate.
So there would be a button that says update, so that it doesn't manually override things. I mean, you have to manually accept, like,
yes,
I am going to accept changes to my library.
Delete all of these. Can I do this? No. Anyway, I promise you that it will update, and I really wish that was working. But, so...
In theory, it would work.
So,
for a second, we had hope.
Yeah, well, I wanted to show...
Oh, I saw it again.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, maybe it's when you save this file that... I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I don't know. Oh, I saw it again, yeah.
It's elusive.
Yeah.
Imagine that works, and that... I don't want to derail our time, but so that would be its own component. You could this would update an asset and move to the top of the list. Actually, let me just what if I try one more thing? If I delete this as a component and try to
add it again. Ah, I see what you mean.
So I've got that selected, and then
all right, save. I see the
there
update
is.
button. I see
Please
the update
stay.
button. Oh, no.
Okay.
So you guys saw the update button there.
Yeah.
So if that blue button appears,
it just stays.
And you're able to click it.
Yeah, I know. Click that button.
Click that button.
So we are just going to finish up making this detail page, and then we will go turn that into body copy.
So yeah, you'll see, I think yesterday we made like a large body copy and a regular size body copy style.
Well, now
it's not updating.
No.
Oh, there you go.
There it goes.
There you go.
Okay. Technical difficulties, please hold. And then I'm just gonna go and update this border. So I want square, and then change this font to be...
So maybe you would make this a component too after you've kind of set it here.
Yeah, I think you could easily... Let's see if I can bring my swatches into... Let me change this to the eyebrow.
Oh, yes. Z asks, do you use Photoshop for any UI stuff or...
Not anymore. I make
Yeah.
everything in here, which has been pretty great.
I think I solely only use Photoshop for image editing now. So if I need to,
me too.
like remove backgrounds, which you did for a lot of your images. And you can pull PSDs directly into XD. So, last time I learned this on a few lives ago. You can edit any image on your XD file, right-click on the image, edit in Photoshop, and then it will bring it right back. So
it came in.
It came in.
It came
nice.
in.
Maybe it just needed some time.
It's just just give it a minute, okay? Prune's working hard here. Oops. Okay.
So to answer your questions, East, no Photoshop for UI stuff. Mick is just an XD, and like we said, once you guys try
live by it, die by it.
Yeah, it is. There's no going back. It's just so much faster, lighter, and just built. I mean, clearly just designed for.
Look, now it's doing it. Okay. Oh,
too soon.
too soon.
Are disappointed.
Oh man, we both are just like man. Okay, we got 23 minutes.
Yep.
Okay, what can I crank out here too? So yeah, we're just gonna pretend that this was all updated.
Is there a quick way to change one product image across the board? So maybe you can demonstrate in a little bit if you change one component across the board, how it all changes.
Yeah.
But we can demo that
so
in a little bit.
Does she mean like, or do they mean...
I think if we, like, let's say there was a mug, I mean, we wouldn't really do this with product photos, but let's say there was one specific asset we wanted to change across the board.
Oh, yeah, I guess I would have made that a component
Yes,
then,
yeah.
and then that would have updated dynamically like that, I think, if I'm understanding the question correctly.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. But otherwise, you might have to manually, unless it's like the image in the master component, it would populate throughout all of them, also assuming that you haven't edited them to be in an instance. Otherwise, I think
You want to go in.
you might be out of luck.
Yeah.
And update all of them. Okay, so here we want a nice
Akil
big...
says for them the update button works. So I think we're just having issues today on our computer.
Yeah,
so
no,
I'm glad it's working for you.
It was working this morning. I promise. When I trial ran.
Trial ran.
Trial ran.
Did a trial run.
Yes, a trial. That's a better way of putting it. Okay, I just want to add a little bit of color to this page, some texture with some nice close-up of the image asset, or just some like lifestyle imagery, and then gonna make a recommended product section. And because we wasted time, I'm going to just copy and paste and just update these using my styles. So this is a label, and this is a H4. And then here you can just literally steal your product cards. Oh, let me go back into full page. Oh, I want to change that color, that background. I'm thinking some hodgepodge here.
Nice.
Yeah. And to make these product images pop, I'm going to turn the grid on so that when I drop it in,
and it's just grid, just gives me security.
I know.
Nice.
Oh, this is so perfect. I'm gonna make sure that's 16. And then boom. Cool. And then I'm just gonna steal a footer.
Nice.
Done. Oh,
amazing.
I need a button just so if you want to see more.
Like, shop all or something like that. Yeah. And again, guys, when you do a lot of these, it kind of become second nature.
Yes.
And thus able to move quickly.
Right. Your only trip ups might be if your things are updated or not.
Technical difficulties.
Please hold. Okay.
So what page do we have left?
And we're just gonna see how fast we can do an about page.
Woo,
so,
we got 20 minutes. You are
20 minutes,
good
but
on
I wanted
time.
to share some of the
Oh,
other
yeah.
things. Yeah.
You can also, if you want to switch at some point.
Actually, yeah. maybe.
I'll give you, how about we do it in 5 minutes? So we got 15 minutes at the end.
That's great.
Cool.
I think that'll be enough. Okay.
So Mick's got some cool kind of like, okay, once this is done, like how she might pass things off or document further, as if this, I mean, if this is a real project and you're working with a team, you know, I think often our job as a designer, I mean, you're great if you can code too, but often in a setting, we're handing off to developers, we're handing off to our teammates or our clients who are gonna continue this project on. So, you know, our job doesn't stop right after the design. I think there's a lot of documentation and a lot of kind of like walkthrough and hand-holding that needs to happen to make sure.
Love holding hands.
Yeah, you know, design is half the job.
Right.
So she'll kind of show us what she might do once, just to flesh this project out a little further beyond the page designs, which is very important.
Yes.
But again, yeah, our role is not just the designs.
No.
Well, I love that. I love that salvage display and the clay buddy.
Yeah.
Looks
that
so
is
good.
I keep thinking of Pauly Shore. Like, he always was like, yeah, buddy. Yeah. So it's like,
You got
that's
a
where
lot
my
of
head was. I
references.
told you, my brain is a dumpster full of
I love
weird,
it. I have like zero like
pop
memory
culture
retention.
Oh.
So I know like nothing unless I've written it down somewhere.
No. So
Oh, that's so cute.
we're going to pretend that's her. That's
Yeah.
a stock photo.
Yeah.
That's not her.
Shout out Adobe Stock.
Shut up. What up? That is her. And then
So you've pulled some, you know, the point of this page you're thinking is to kind of tell the story behind the brand, like
Yes.
give people a little bit more context into the product and the art.
Yep.
And
And yeah, just a place for them
it's
to
like a
learn more.
good dough.
Yeah, I told you I like donuts. These don't need buttons, so gonna just delete those and recenter.
So you're just editing the instance of that component?
Yes.
Without touching the master component.
No.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I love that too, because then you're kind of having multiple, like different versions of that component give you flexibility.
Yeah. So this is actually my friend Becca's clay pots.
Oh
and
my goodness. Shout
yeah,
out Becca.
Shut up. What up, girl? This was in her house that I took on like...
I love it.
I know. She's actually doing her own ceramic projects.
Oh,
and
beautiful.
Sounds super fun. So yeah, I am going to go in and just dump some lorem ipsum in there.
And you're going to use a plugin?
Use a plugin.
What plugin are you
It's
using?
called lorem ipsum.
Mhm.
And
Wow,
all you do
that
is
is-
just insert text and it fills it for you, which is so nice. And then I'm going to put in lorem ipsum there. Oops. Done.
Yeah, you guys should
Yeah.
explore some of the plugins.
I think it
There's
just
some
needs
cool
a
stuff.
footer. I think it needs footer and it
Dude, you
needs a
did it.
little bit
You did it in like 3 minutes.
Did I do it?
Yeah.
Oh, this is like design races.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, just get it done. Deadline
she
is
design?
coming.
It's actually been like feedback from managers in the past. It's like, you work really fast. And I'm like, I'm like, is that a problem? They're like, you're going to have to slow your roll here. And then I think we need a prune in here.
Yeah.
We already did the splits, so maybe she's karate kicking.
Oh my god.
Just kind of as a
So
period to end
cute.
the sentence.
Yeah.
Like, boom. Done. We are done with this part of the site. So this is, like, say this was what I was responsible for. These are my pages, and they're all set. So I'm feeling good about this. So
You
I
did
wanted
an amazing job.
Thank you. So we have 16 minutes. I think, actually, that's probably going to be more than plenty of enough time to share the example I wanted to share. So we're just going to get out of this guy. And you, Mr. I'm not
Mr.
happy
Design-
with you, but
design
I
system.
know you're. It's like I'm trying. I don't know. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, so just gonna clear my desktop out.
And make sure you guys, in 15 minutes, we're going to be switching over to reviewing the creative challenges. So if you guys haven't posted already and you want us to review them and give input, make sure you go on Discord and post them so that we can access them. Otherwise, we will not know.
Yeah, let us know. So I just want to say, like, if you don't have time to build from scratch a design system, or you just like don't know where to start, there are so many resources out there for you.
Yep.
Actually, there was one that I think is like super great, and it was built for XD. It's called the Semantic UI Kit. So I went ahead and downloaded this, and so I can just open this guy up.
This is free, available on Adobe, right?
Open recent, I think it's just called Semantic UI. Yeah, there it is. So it's this really, like, if you want a system, this is a system. Like,
can we compare this to what you had, just so we can show people?
Just to make me feel bad.
No, just so people understand it doesn't have to be this, you know?
I think this is more for like really big products, and this is a small e-commerce site. So let's see, this is the wrong file. Let me open recent design system.
So this is the system that
we
built out yesterday.
Yeah.
So you'll see similar components, right? But we just want to demonstrate there's no wrong or right way to do this. It's just a system.
You do you. Yeah. So yeah, I only had like a handful of pages here, but this has got, oh boy.
What are they covering in their system?
They're really detailed. So they're, calling out their specific colors, their typography, and how you organize these two is totally up to you.
Yeah.
I kept them separate. Moving into icons, so this is if you ever need a set, come here, just pick up some of this stuff.
And there's so many icon sets out there for designers' use that are open source.
Yeah, you don't have to be an icon designer, which is totally fine. I use the Noun project a lot.
Yeah, me too.
And then I think the key there is being consistent. Just like the theme of a design system is making sure the stroke weights are feeling the same. They feel like a family. They've got breadcrumbs. They have placeholders, steps. This is okay. I've got cards. I see you. Stats. Yeah, ratings. So that would be maybe a good thing for Sugar Plum Clay, a feature in the future
section.
To reviews. So maybe I would just go and pull these stars and then just stylize them how I want.
So yeah, this is kind of like a kit or a framework for you to create your own UI kit if you wanted to.
Yep. And then so here's tabs, a lot, and this is also a good way for me to audit and see what I maybe am missing. So even states too, I should have a drop down for what it looks like to be dropped down instead of just a box. Comments section, menus, they get really into it. So there's some people that are even more systems focused than me, and they are just boom, 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 boom. They can just crank this stuff out, where sometimes that can take a lot of energy for me. Oh yeah, forms, I didn't even get into that, but capturing just what a form field would look like, but also error messages too. Can't forget those, because otherwise your developer's just gonna come knocking on your...
I need a design.
Yeah, I know.
Can you figure it out?
And you're probably busy doing something else, and you're I'll just figure this out later.
Yep. Totally.
Yeah. So last night when we were sleeping, some little elves came through, and they made us a design system just for Sugar Plum Clay. Those sweet
They've
little
kind of
elves.
buffed out.
Yeah.
So not buffed out.
So what they did is they copy and pasted a lot of stuff from the Semantic UI, and they turned it into an actual thing for Sugar Plum. So that's so nice of them. So here, I'm just gonna go into play mode. Because
this is rad.
This is so cool. So that Semantic UI is also it's built its own little site framework, so that you can probably hand off to developers super easy. And so this is great because it's actually interactive. Look at that.
Yeah, that's
amazing. It's got a menu that you can update, and it'll take you around the different pages.
I want to do this for every single project.
I know, it's so good. So I'm thinking handoff would be super simple.
Yeah.
So here, these are all of our colors. And just giving a little bit more guidance and with body copy of this is what to use them for. I think if you were to go through typography, I think this is a good opportunity for you to use to kind of infuse some of that brand tone of voice and stuff like that. So instead of just having just the typeface name, you could be hi, I'm Salvage, and then just talking about use this sparingly. It's mostly for graphical purposes. It's not for body copy. And then just having a little fun, I'm Planton. And this one's if everyone knows Salvage can be a bit of a diva, Planton Enfant comes in all business. So it's our primary typeface for headlines and body copy. etc. And then just showing you another way to lay out your type scale down there in our body copy. I think, what else do I got in here? Our icons. So here is where I put prune and showing you also the name, naming convention of the icons.
What does it say?
Like prune, karate kick, stand, kneel. So that's more for like developers and handoff. Like they'll know what file name to look for in your really organized folder structure. And then I just lifted some of those icons from the semantic UI for more of the UI. So like I don't need them now, but maybe in the future, like this is the look and feel I'm going for, and for somebody to pull. Because we did not include a search, and that was probably a big mistake. But yeah, we'll have a button for it later.
So Jessica asks, Mick, this looks like a style guide. What is the difference between a design system and a style guide?
I'm so glad you asked. A style guide is a component of a design system. So it's really like if there's an umbrella, design system would have style guide underneath, components. So like these are more like the foundations, all of these pages. If I can pull this up. There it is. So I would consider the foundations also like the same as a style guide. Yeah, so it's your color, your typography. These are like the elements that build your components. And so if you also would have in your design system, it's like a components library. So that's where you would get into like buttons here, and that's where you're listing out all of the different states of them too that we went through yesterday, designing with those in mind. Buttons, here's our cards, so just taking inventory of all the components that we built and all the different styles that they have. That's just the marketing units. Navigation and footer, getting those captured. And then forms. So here, I did do a drop down. Yeah. Although the worker elves did while we were sleeping.
You didn't do this last night.
Yeah. And then, yes. And you can really, like, for this instance, I'm calling these blocks. So maybe, like, in my experience, I've had to use, like, you even need to make components just for, like, a headline text. Like, it's just pure text or whatever. But you need to, like, make that a component.
Centered with a certain line height, a certain width, or something like that.
Yep. Eyebrows, blah, 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 drop downs, and image blocks. So sometimes you even need those simple things that would be built into another bigger piece of the component. Like, I think they call it molecules.
Yeah.
So you start with an atom, and then
start with an element, an atom, molecule.
Yeah. Then it takes over everything. Yeah. And then you're living inside of this design system, and you're speaking, and I'm just kidding.
You're dreaming about it. You've got elves about it.
Yes. And then just one last call out is the photography. Like this is giving, so maybe it's not like specific for a developer or for a even a designer, but for like a client or something like that, the photography guidelines are captured here, saying like you only shoot these on white, or like it's never in context or whatever. This is what lifestyle imagery looks like, and kind of the tone and feeling of it. So yeah, you can really capture whatever you like in it. And then the last piece in 7 minutes, I think that's actually more than enough time. We might have a little extra time, that I like to do is that whole code part of it. So if you noticed in, oops, let me reopen that up. In the typography section, I actually already have some of the CSS outlined for the developers, and I think this is where they will give you a big hug, because then they don't have to do it. And I think there's ways to export this out, maybe in XD, but I don't know them. But what I do is just use a plugin. So if I go into my plugins, there's one called Simply Handoff, and all you have to do is you select an artboard and you hit. Like, we're just going to do typography, but you could import all of these to look at.
What are the options?
Like, they're all of our artboards.
Got it.
So this is just saying, like, I already had created a project, so it's just going to upload it to there. Oops, I don't want to create a project. I'm just going to select that project. And then it's going to open this up in a browser window where I can go in. And so they've uploaded it, and This is like so nice. I don't know if anybody's ever had to redline before, but that's when you're actually going through and saying like, this is the padding between the different elements. Can I do full screen? There we go. So I've had to go through and actually manually like not type those out, but call those out for the developers and like make comments about it, and document them that way. And also it gives you a good guide. I've done too where I've just screenshotted that and put it into my style guide so that developers know like, oh, there's 30 pixels between headline and body copy or whatever, so that they know. Or I think that this tool you can actually share with your developers, and then they don't have to have not everybody always has XD, so this is a way to hand off files that way. And then it gives you all of these web styles here on the right hand side that I just go and I copy and paste. I don't need any of the positioning because that's relevant to this
Wherever
page.
it is,
I just want just the style of like the type and things and the size.
Yep.
And then I just
put it in your style guide.
Copy and paste it. And I just go through and that's Europa, but yeah.
Yeah.
But you get the gist of it. Oh, I did it in 4 minutes? Cool. And so I can just go ahead and just, for all of these, just copy and paste those lines. And it gives you the font size. This is in pixels. Again, I don't really understand M's.
Yeah, we were talking about how we're web designers, we don't get M's.
Yeah, we don't get them. But
so if any of y'all do, y'all are ahead.
Yeah, you can school us on that because my peanut-sized brain just doesn't do math.
I guess I understand the concept, but I'm like, the pixels are just so straightforward.
I know. So going through. I guess I don't need to do all of these. I think that's like the main points of them, though.
Yeah. I do something very similar for my handoff too, and developers love you.
Yeah.
And then they also have no excuse.
Right.
Like you want to make it foolproof.
Gosh. I've definitely had times where I send like comps to a developer, and then they come back, and I'm just like, like sometimes they'll be like, can you QA this or like mark it up for feedback, and I literally be like, can I just send the JPEG back because it's so big?
I don't think this is like the right file.
But also like at what point do you look at this and you look at this and you're like,
I don't
this
understand.
Looks good enough. Yeah,
I don't. There are some people I asked and they're like, they just don't see it.
Yeah,
like I don't know.
I don't know.
It blows
I'm like,
my mind.
Were you squinting? Where's your computer?
Yeah. What happened?
I don't know.
So yeah, this really gives, you're really providing a lot of the information. You're doing a lot of work for other people.
So which is I think, it's the control freak in me. But but I think it's really good for them so that they don't have those questions. And this is probably for more that final stages of documentation where you're including all of this kind of stuff. So.
Because people will ask.
Yeah, they will.
And if they don't,
come knocking down your door. And of course, that's when you'll be like crazy busy on something else, and you won't have time to do it. So you might as well just do it up front.
Yeah.
And then you can also do that for like button styles too. I think. Yeah. Like in some of these other examples, you can actually go and copy and paste. Oh, see, that would be really nice. Like
if you can copy the text code.
Right. And then I could just go and paste that. Oh. See, that would be so nice.
Yeah. Yes, but this is Lonely Planet.
Oh yes, Lonely Planet's good. I loved their icons. They had a good set for all of their destinations.
Yeah. I love looking at other brands.
Yeah.
Design
that's
systems.
a good point. There's this whole page called styleguides.io.
Yes.
And they have tons of examples, and that's where I pulled some from. Actually, I wonder if Nachos is in here. That's that one that I kept referencing.
The Trello one?
Yeah, Trello one. Yeah. I think I was just...
I haven't looked at Trello's, actually.
Is it? Oh, because it's Atlassian now.
Oh, did they get
bought? I don't know. It sounds like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, NASA. That'd be pretty cool.
NASA's print one is amazing.
It even includes space suits.
So yeah, if you wanted space suits in your design system.
That's awesome. I want a NASA helmet. Let's see, who else has got some good ones? But yeah, I think that's the beauty of design systems is that you can go and kind of like a buffet, just go and pick the things that you want. So like maybe there needs to be a spacesuit section in mine, like for Prune. Like I think we need to,
because they're gonna take over the world.
Yeah, it's gonna, and boots, because she wears boots, so like she's gonna need some style guide. They need to be cowboy, like that's criteria number 1.
Yes.
Let's see, Sprout Social.
What do you think about?
Ooh, that's got some nice animation.
Oh, that's beautiful.
They're from Chicago.
Oh, I didn't know
Shout out to
that.
Chicago. What's up? My friend Rachel works there. Yeah, this is a beautiful one.
So you gotta check those.
Oh, we've got
sound
12
bites out.
seconds left.
Oh yeah, so we're gonna be reviewing the daily creative challenges. So post your what do you call it? Projects, your daily creative challenges on a Discord on the XD channel, and we'll be reviewing them now.
Yeah.
In 0 seconds.
There it is.
So yeah, let's start looking at them. Like I'll pull them up on my, yeah, so we're going through. Let's look at, I'm just gonna start from the top. What we got?
Just take it to the top.
Let's see, let's start with Philo's. It's from 3:04 a.m. Actually, let's start with people who might be on right now. David XD. It's their first challenge.
Congrats.
Let me know what you think. I know it lacks some contrast, but they like it clean like this. So let me see if I can,
Oh, can we do full screen? Yeah.
So, oh, this is like a note card app.
Yep. Cool. Wait, that's true? A horde of bunnies? I'm more interested in the content right now. Napoleon was attacked by a horde of bunnies.
Is that actually true? Should we fact check people? So let's see. Let's take a look. It looks like we've got, it's like a flip card app or a game maybe.
Yeah.
I see. You're correct. Cool. Looks like a pretty straightforward game. Trying to see. Let's see if do we have any feedback for. I like that.
I think it's super. Yeah, I like the wave there.
I like that this changed when you were. What do you say? You got the question right.
I think
And
the buttons are nice and like tactile feeling, which is
feels
really
like you
nice.
can press everything. I think the font sizes look good in terms of.
Yeah, I think the only thing, and it could be the screen, is there's a huge push in accessibility. As it shouldn't, it's not a trend because it should just be a standard. But I would double check and go into like, you can just like Google like contrast.
Contrast checker
Or
or
accessibility, yeah, kind of things. And I would check your contrast on the white type on the green because feels very similar and somebody might have a hard time reading that.
And green is a color. I mean, green is, I know you're using it to mark correct, but I think green and white can be a tough combination for
it might just need to be
accessibility.
like a little bit darker or something like that too.
For sure. And maybe even this button here, if that's supposed to be a button, the question mark, just making it a little bit, stand out a little bit more.
Yeah.
Be clickable.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks pretty straightforward. I think it looks like a good hierarchy of information. I love the little, what is it called? Like triggers you had.
Yeah. Wait, can we see it one more time?
Yeah, let's watch it one more time. Flip.
Cool.
Maybe even for flip, I don't even know because I'm not an animation like expert. Like it could actually like
flip.
Flip versus I think right now the animation is kind of like an expand.
Yeah.
So
that
that's
could
small
be
details.
the XD thing though.
Oh, it could be the
Yeah.
XD. Oh, that could
I don't
be
know
the,
if it's can handle flipping yet.
Yeah. So stay
So
tuned.
stay tuned. Yeah, we're gonna go put in a request.
Yeah. We'll let our
We're gonna go knock
contacts
on the
know.
door. Yeah.
Now let's take a look at errands. I think this one's errands. Let's see. Oop, let me make it full screen again. I'm gonna start over.
Ooh, I like that mascot.
So cute. Hi, Arena. Are you ready? What do you want to learn?
Ooh, okay. Oh, it's a play. I was like, what do I want to learn about today? I hope she was Korea. Oh, let's start.
Oh,
Ooh,
cool.
bintang. It's a beer. Oh, wait. No, it's a star. That's not even
Maybe
an
it's
option.
also.
A vocabulary. Oh, cool. Fly.
Got it.
I'm learning.
Yeah,
right
this is
now.
awesome.
I like that slide up.
Yeah.
Oh, she's gonna instant replay for us?
Oh, and then we get back to the
Oh, that's
beginning,
it.
I think. Yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
I love the setup of like, you know who it's coming from. It's this world that's speaking to you. That sounded so like
No, I love it.
existential. Like this world is speaking to you.
I think just minor visual stuff I'm noticing, like maybe just like the centering of these illustrations. Or I know they're all aligned at the same height, but I think I don't know, just it feels like slightly moved up or position.
Yeah, sometimes it's that visual trick of your eye. Like even though something's wider and they might literally be in the same pixel, it's like you have to.
You just have to eyeball it after, and I know that's always the weird part. You're like, oh, I know it's technically center.
My eyes are playing tricks on me.
Yeah, and then let's see. The buttons are clear.
Star. I'm like, I know the answers now.
Yes,
I
now
love
we
this.
know.
I love the thumbs up. I think though I would make maybe that thumbs up like full screen, like
like a
really
whole,
like reward
response.
them. Yeah,
I think that's a great idea. Can we do that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like maybe it pops up.
Yeah, like so I can understand more that it's like you did it correctly.
And maybe the next button is on that same screen or something like that. I think also maybe even, I mean, the next one's pretty clear because it shows up, but maybe trying I don't know, like make it look more like a button. Like it could, I guess they're all buttons.
Just making it, I think,
I
really like that
cute
pattern of like the big 4 up. Like I wonder if you could repeat that kind of pattern in your answers so that you're establishing a pattern instead of using the long big bars across. Like it's kind of like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Like the 4 questions up.
Yes,
yeah. That could be cool.
Just using common patterns.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's looking good. Let's see. I never know how to like
get out of
this. Okay, there we go.
We're trapped.
Let's take a look at Muse. We'll find out what this is. Oh! Whoa!
Okay.
All right, let me start
those must
over.
be
Let me
your
start over.
Wait, it's vegan jokes.
All right, how many meat eaters does it take to change a light bulb?
Uh-oh.
Reveal. Oh, God.
Uh-oh.
None. They would rather stay in the dark about things.
So we've got some personality here.
Yeah. I think just animation-wise, like maybe, I mean, I know this is just probably a quick prototype, but just like getting the timing a little bit more, maybe slower? Or?
Yeah, I think it's just a little bit jarring, the animation. But maybe that was what you were going for. But for me, it was like, I thought it was a mistake or like a laggy thing.
For sure. Or maybe even like the emoji could come after the answer because it's like,
I think this is a good call out for like animations. I think like I don't mind the first intro where he like bumps in to kind of be like, yes, he's like cheeky at you. But I think pausing there, like just knowing your timing rhythm, like maybe you pause there for a second before you maybe like clean sweep to the next page or something. You don't have to have the same animation in and out too. Right. Yeah, because
and that could signal a nice transition between like the chapters.
Right. And you also want to give them enough time to like register. I think especially when you're in designing and you think things like you're like, oh, I know this because you already know what to anticipate. Like, but thinking through like people are going to need a second to read and like just digest. So you're always going to need to like slow your pace a little bit more.
Yep, totally. Oh my God.
Homicide. Wait, you like dark jokes?
I do. I really like dark jokes. So it looks like also the emojis are changing on the back.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why, but or maybe
Like, are they? They're just jokes. It's not like a yes or no. But
no.
I guess. Yeah. That smirk face.
It certainly has a lot of personality.
Yeah. That's
I think just working on some of the animations to make it a little bit more. I think mostly to me it's like a timing thing.
Yeah.
Or making that the animation should trigger versus automatically go on.
Right.
Maybe that's just the video we're watching too. So
true.
That's very
fun. I like
fun.
to think maybe we were having internet issues, and that's why.
Yeah. All right. Maybe it's technical issues. Let's see if
and it wasn't my file. I'm still hung up on that.
You gotta talk to our XD connection.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's check out Philu's food ordering challenge on Behance. So I think this was from last week's. I know this week's daily creative challenge just started today, so I think maybe some people need some time. It's a daily creative challenge. Number 6, prompt, design and prototype a food ordering app. Use drag triggers.
Sushi.
Oh my god, yeah, I'm so
You
excited.
love sushi.
I do love sushi. Tap trigger to confirm the order. Try creating icons in Illustrator and import them using CC libraries. Awesome. Okay, so it's really trying out multiple programs. Oh, this is all so cute.
I
like,
know.
The illustrations are so cute.
I love the floating sushi.
Yeah, it's making me hungry.
Just like floats into my mouth. Yeah.
I love it. Oh, so cute.
It's super clean.
It's super clean. Let's see. Let's take a look at this video. Drag left or right to select your food. Oh, very cool. Cool. Maybe with that too, like, and again, this might be just limitations of the prototyping software, but like if there was a little bit of a, what do you call that? Like an ease to the transition
Using
versus a linear transition, I think it could make the scrolling feel a little smoother.
Yeah. But I love the
so
illustrations.
Cute. You really thought about like every step.
So thoughtful. Yes, order. Can you ship it to Adobe?
Yeah.
Oh, it's got, oh, look at it.
Oh, so cute.
Thumbs up. Welcome back. They're like, welcome to your...
Oh my god, I love it.
This is so good.
That was amazing.
Thank you. I would just want some branding on that last page.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah. Maybe that's when they ran out of time.
Yeah. True.
But yeah, I think that's, I think
that
the
A is
easing,
really nice.
It is really cute. Let's see if they told us what typeface they used. I don't think so.
Yeah.
That looks great.
Yeah.
I think
really
maybe one thing, I don't even think, this is not really even a legitimate critique, but like the button reads close to gray to me, so then sometimes I was like, oh, it kind of feels like disabled versus active. So that's a minor nitpick. I know that's like a brand color though, so but then maybe one thing to consider, maybe bring in that orange instead.
That feels like very active.
Right.
And isn't there some like psychology with like
the orange
food?
or red?
Yeah, like make
you
you
like
hungry.
Yeah, so they say. I think the illustrations alone make me hungry, but I think that's the one thing could consider changing. Yeah. But that looks awesome.
It's really good.
Philippe. Let's see if anyone else added anything. No, today it is quiet in current challenge, I think, because the challenge started today.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at some older ones. Yeah. This is from yesterday. Okay, that's good. Let's see. Let's take another one. Look at another one by Mew.
Oh, what is that?
Okay, let's start.
Is this bubble tea or something?
Yeah. Choose the flavor.
Cool. I love the like graphic nature of it.
Choose the boba.
Bubble tea.
Oh my god.
I love bubble tea.
That's so cute. So is this like a boba tea like ordering app?
I think so.
I think that's pretty fun. I'd be curious, like, do they
I love
actually
that it
serve
feels
it to
like
me
you're
in the
in that like fishbowl looking
You're like
thing.
actually making it in this circle thing, and they're gonna ship it to me. So that sounds good.
I'm into that.
Yeah, I mean I don't know the context of this. So I wish I knew a little bit more.
I think it's just a food ordering app.
Oh right. It's the food ordering app.
Yeah, I think it. I mean, this is all really great. There's just no like pricing or anything.
Yeah, maybe pricing or I mean there might be more to this. Yeah. Or even like.
Or maybe this is like one step inside of the ordering process.
Flow, yeah. I could also see like I know like. I mean, icons are great, and I think showing visually is great too. But there might need to be a little bit, like, I don't know, labels.
Yeah,
or something
like I'd want to know
that.
I didn't know there was 2 different types of boba.
Right, I'd be curious as to what this orange one is.
Oh, it's
like,
orange?
Or like brownish. Yeah, maybe it's golden honey. I'm like, I know a lot about boba, but yeah, it's like you might not know.
Yeah.
So it might be, or maybe some directions.
Did you see that the cart color changes when
when you add the boba? When it's full?
Oh, I like that connection.
Oh, I see. Like you're just ordering that, like whatever the last thing you selected was.
Yeah.
Got it.
That color. That's nice.
It's an interesting design detail.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe adding a little bit more guidance for users who might not know what they're supposed to do or might not know what these options are. Like, I think it's pretty clear, but maybe you don't know what kiwi is. I don't know. Or what a strawberry is. So, yeah.
Cool.
Some things there. And then, oh, there's been one new message. Yay. Okay.
All right.
Cool. From
C-Block.
C-Block, since you're here, let's look at your profile.
Oh, that typeface. Outie.
Right. Outie. Road
I'm
trip.
outies.
Whoa. Let's go back. Road trip randomizer. Oh, that sounds very fun. Cool.
Yes.
So
this
it's
is
like
cool.
how
So this
far,
is just like telling you it's a randomizer.
yeah, it's like how far are you willing to go? What's your vibe? So it seems like this is kind of gonna like you're up for an adventure.
I hate making decisions, so a randomizer would be great.
Yeah, me too.
That would be so good.
It's like Yelp, but without you need to putting things in.
Oh, I like that.
It's very cool. So you can, oh, this is from Cornelian. Oh, yes, Cornelian, I saw you in the chat earlier. So it looks like a travel assistant app.
Nice.
Let's look at the prototype.
Yes, show us.
Ooh, I'll do the interactive prototype.
I gotta learn how to make one of these.
I know.
With all that time
I watch these, and I'm like,
yeah.
dang.
With all that time I saved making design systems, I should have all this free time, right? Like,
Should you?
I don't know.
Let's see. Put in the password.
Oh, that was
Great.
nice. That little floaty.
Sign in. Okay, zoom in on this.
Yeah.
Oh, not too much. Ooh, how far am I willing to
look at
go?
that, like,
Oh
it's
my
like those
God.
like airport signs that like
Right,
flip
yeah.
down.
Isn't that great? What people are able to do.
I want to know how to make that animation.
Here's a menu. Oh, interesting. I kind of expected it to come out like from this side. I don't know, because it was on this side.
I actually, that just came up in my day job the other day. Is it weird? I was asking, is it weird if a menu comes out from the other side? And I couldn't decide.
I don't know, yeah. Okay, let's see. So, all right. Oh, is that it? Maybe
Do you just go all the way
that's all
over?
I have?
Yeah.
Maybe that's all we've got so far.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, that was really awesome.
The
still.
attention to details were pretty good.
Yeah.
Unless if you hit the hamburger menu, is there a menu inside of that?
I can only click on log out. So maybe that's as far as they got with prototyping.
Yeah. But that is impressive
Yeah.
in itself.
Let me go out of this project.
Prototyping is one of those like really nuanced things that I could probably spend hours
No, yeah,
doing.
you could spend days doing this. Oh, here's the prototype. So maybe he'll walk us through it in more detail.
Oh, you have to drag all the way, is what Cornelian says. Okay, we'll go back. We got time. Click discover. Okay, so we drag it all the way.
Drag it all the way. Or not. Go back a little. Press discover. I thought I couldn't press discover.
Video is better. Oh, okay.
Uh-huh. Wait, full screen this? Yes. Vibe. Oh yeah, maybe creating some more contrast in the radio select buttons. Like I thought these were already selected. Like the romantic and I'm gonna go back, sorry. Like the romantic and elegant. I think those are like unselected.
Yeah,
but
there's
sorry, my
not a
screen
lot
is
of
so
contrast.
filthy. But yeah, maybe if those could be like empty and when it's clicked on, you can actually
I think
there's a little more
more
contrast.
like yeah.
Add, let's see, what are we adding? Oh, we're adding locations to our map.
Ooh, Denver Union Station is beautiful. If you've ever been,
I've never been, but Denver's on my list of places to go. Oh, so you can add it to your map. Oh, that's very cool. So then does it kind of come up with an itinerary for you? Maybe that's what's happening.
Yeah, I think like a Google map for you. It's just based off of the locations you might want to visit.
Cool.
The only thing is like this is assuming that they know these landmarks.
Yeah.
So maybe there's like an info button so you could tap into that card and see if you want to
What
picture and like a little
Lodo
bit.
Denver is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get to that. Let's watch.
Let's see. Click and see. He also did this on Android, which is nice.
That's so cool. Use your account to invite friends and family to join you on your trip.
Aww.
Connect and share your photos and review with our traveler network. Go Audi. Very cool. Distance is 38 miles.
That's
cool. Yeah, and like you were saying, maybe there's more of like an info tab or something.
Although
like
maybe
that.
he just imagined they like taking the decisions entirely out of your hands.
Yeah, and you're just
going.
Just
You just click a couple and you're like, here, I'm going.
Yeah. Very cool.
Oh, that was a little hidden for me.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known that was where search was.
Yeah.
So maybe making that a little bit more obvious.
Mm-hmm.
And then, this is kind of more like a list view versus a map view.
Oh, good to give options.
And then is there a way to, maybe delete things from delete?
Yeah, like if I don't want to start all the way over.
Yeah, maybe giving people an easy way to remove stops. I would also even say, like, to me, it wasn't quite clear that this was how I added. Like, if this was my first time, maybe there's more of an onboarding, so maybe we're missing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't have known that this was the way to add a stop in my itinerary. But overall, I mean, it's kind of amazing what you put together and prototyped. So
that's
kudos.
So good.
Looks awesome. So yeah, I think our main piece of feedback are kind of like adding like an info, just in terms of this is a real app.
Yeah.
Some sort of info, way to learn more about these. And then I think whatever the search view was a little bit hidden for us.
Yep.
Yeah, like the discovery element of it.
I also think you could probably collapse some of that.
This up here.
Yeah, that space up top into more of a condensed view, as I don't think I need a picture of myself that big when it's Denver. Yeah, I don't know. It's just
no, for sure.
Yeah, I would want to see more of the map, and then if you go back a screen, I think that could give you a little bit.
Like this view?
Yeah, like
more content on the
you could
screen.
fit more of the locations or give them more breathing space or fit that extra like info about the stop too. Could be nice.
Oh, and this is sort by. I thought this was kind of like search. But yeah, I think sort by makes sense too.
He says new to UX. Y'all's feedback helps so much.
Oh, great.
This is new to UX? This is pretty
this is
good.
Great as new to UX.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, looking good. I think just visually too, maybe creating a little bit more contrast between the colors. Like everything is, I always use like the squint test. I know that's like not the official accessibility test, but even just to like gut check, like if I squint my eyes and I can't kind of like tell the difference between the colors or like it gets lost, then I know just kind of offhand that like I need to amp up the contrast there or even if I'm choosing between two similar colors, like often I'll get a brand guide from brand designers or print designers with very subtle color differences. Yeah. And I'm like, especially in digital, like we need to amp up that contrast. So, doing a quick squint test, but also running things through accessibility checkers.
Yeah. Because did you hear about people are getting like dinged
sued,
and like literally sued for it? I don't think Cornelia's gonna get sued for this.
It's a thing.
Who
right
was it?
now.
Like they couldn't order.
I want to say like
their website,
Domino's or something.
Yeah, it was
like
Domino's.
A pizza thing. Yeah, it was crazy. I was like, I mean, yes, it's a whole thing right now.
It's crazy.
And it's as it should be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think us designers we need to be more aware.
Yeah. I was listening to some podcast or something about design and they were talking about like everybody always thinks like, oh, that's an edge case scenario where it's like it's one of those things where it's like only a small number of people, but like there was one, I think it was like they were using the example of Facebook and it's like, okay, so if there's 1 billion users on Facebook and say like 1% of them can't do this because of, I don't know, like it's inaccessible for them. That was like 1% of 1 billion is still a lot of people. Yeah. Like I, again, can't do math, but seems like a lot.
Seems like a lot.
I know. Like,
what is 1% of 1 billion, guys? Yeah. Will you be faster at doing math than we are going to be using the calculator?
Oh, there's that lag too, 1%.
But, one. Yeah. And I think it depends on...
I still can't even understand it.
1, 2, 3, 10 million.
Yeah.
10 million people, guys. That's a lot of people.
That's so many people. Who has a population of 10 billion?
I think we're just about out of time, but I think that's good since we don't have too many submissions today. If you guys have any final questions for Mick, make sure you follow her on Instagram, take a look at her work, and if you guys haven't watched yesterday's stream, like go make sure you do that because like I've been doing this for a long time and I still learned so much from Mick and just watching her process. So
great.
Thanks, Mick, for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And
this was
we'll
fun.
see you guys next time. And follow Mick on Instagram.
Yeah, thanks.